good afternoon. Welcome back to the channel. What do we have for us today? It's actually something from Abstract Ocean, and it is, as you can see here, some of the Cybertruck XPEL armor protection pieces. So this one is for truck bed edges. There's some tailgate interior trim and the truck bed itself. So I think we're actually going to start with the tailgate interior trim pieces, which would of course be this side of the tailgate. And you know, probably like most folks, you know, your tailgate, people slide stuff across it all the time. It gets, you know, while it's, you know, fairly tough, you start getting, you know, scrapes like this and nicks like that, etc. And it doesn't always really look the best unless you treat it with, I don't know, some 303 protectorant or some other, you know, type of material. So I thought I'd try, you know, the XPEL armor protection. And I reached out to Abstract Ocean, who, you know, I've purchased stuff from them for years for my Model 3, and I also have some things for my Cybertruck. They've always come through, had really good products. I've always been happy with their puddle lights. I remember I purchased puddle lights from a different supplier, did not have good results. So anyway, I'm kind of anxious to see how this goes with Abstract Ocean. There is a little barcode here, a QR code where you can watch the installation video. I have already watched that, so I'm not going to try to replicate every single step of the installation video because it's already been done very well by Abstract Ocean. But I am going to install it here, let you know kind of my thoughts, how well does it fit on my truck, what does it feel like, what does it look like, etc., and give you my thoughts on it before moving on to doing the truck bed itself. Because one of the thoughts I had is like, you know, maybe I'd remove this mat. Wow, kind of dirty underneath that mat. Maybe I'd remove that mat by doing the truck bed with the XPEL armor. So, and I also, of course, want to see how well it holds up over time. I mean, the bed is where we're taking the Halo Gauss cannon in and out at car shows, obviously hauling luggage and lumber and other things in the bed like anyone would do with the truck. So it's time to give it a little bit of XPEL armor protection and see how it goes. So stay tuned while I get some of the things out of the package and get started by cleaning this up with some isopropyl alcohol is really the first step. I want to get this whole thing clean, and then we'll take the pieces out of the package, lay one out, and start getting it applied. So stand by for more. Okay, so kind of to update you after some of the still photos with the video, I did try to get this down, leaving just the slightest little bit to see here, so I wasn't catching much on an edge, which pretty much put that about the same in the back. Some of the ribs were hard to get exactly in the middle, so I did the best I could. It might be slightly a little bit more to one side than another, but this ended up fitting really well, coming up to here and then dropping down into that space. So it all seems like it lined up pretty well. Now I'm starting on the individual ribs. These here, you'll notice that they have kind of a cutout here or a little slit in them so they can fold at an angle. And what I did was I actually took and centered this to try to have the same amount of space between here and here as well as here to here. So I centered the piece and then I worked from the center outwards. And again, you'll see that in the video. I still need to go along and tuck these edges down now, but I wanted to show it before I actually did that so you can kind of see again that it folds along, having those cuts in the material that allows it to fold over, just like you have these lines here. Those cuts correspond to those lines. So I'm going to get a couple of these down and see how it looks. Okay, so as you can see, the first piece is down with all the rib pieces down. The second piece I now have down. I just need to do the rib pieces. And I guess I would say it was handy really to watch that Abstract Ocean video because I kind of tacked this edge a little bit and then I kind of positioned so there really wasn't a lot of strain on the piece, and I noticed, oh my gosh, at the seam I'm going to be a little bit short and it's going to be a little bit out of whack. And same thing up here, and I'm like, okay, well then I need to reposition slightly on this end, retack, and then again work the piece. And you can stretch this a little bit and stretch it just where it was just enough to line up. And I don't know if you can even see that seam, that butted up really well. Same thing for the seam in here, butted up really well. So I just have the rest of these pieces to lay down, and then this should be finished. So stand by. So I wanted to mention something that I do when putting these strip pieces on, and that is, first thing is I kind of line up the top edge, and then I'll go in just a little bit and I'll pinch in the material until I've got just the same amount of like the original black underneath showing on either side. But then I won't attach anything, and I'll go down further, work my way down a little bit, and again do the same thing. And again, don't attach, come down a little bit further, pinch it in, and then come down and then put it on the end of the piece. And the reason I do that is if you try to like attach at one end and then just pull the whole piece and line it up and press down, you'll oftentimes find that because, you know, your side pieces maybe aren't exactly straight, they might waver just a little bit as they come down, that instead of having more gap on one side and less gap on another and trying to, you know, line up the whole piece at once, I found that if I just work it down in little sections, that makes it easier to put these pieces on and get them looking straight with, you know, even gaps on either side. So just a little tip there. Hope it is helpful to you. So let's take a kind of final look video here. First off, you maybe kind of see with the reflection of that squirt bottle here, you know, this stuff does have a little bit of sheen to it, you know, kind of a satin sheen as opposed to just the flat black, you know, plastic look of the factory piece. So all of this did fit really well. You know, it's gone down, it's staying down. It's about a 75-degree day today, so not too hot, not too cold, maybe just right. So we'll see how this holds up, but it certainly looks a lot better than what the original piece looked like. And of course, you can always rewind the video and go back to the beginning to take a look at that, and I'll post plenty of photos as well too. So far, I'm very happy with the product again from Abstract Ocean, one of our sponsors. I appreciate them giving us the opportunity to do this installation, and stay tuned because I'm going to have another article where I install some more pieces inside the bed. So please subscribe to our channel or subscribe to the blog itself, and you'll get an email or an update, an alert whenever we publish something new. We do try to publish multiple articles every month. I'm Tesla Ken. Stay tuned.